Hello and welcome back to the Perfect Podcast. I am your co-host, Rez, with my other co-host.
Ethan.
Yeah.
That's me.
Good thing he
I knew
remembered
I
his name.
I was expecting you to say Ethan. I thought you were just giving me some
Hey, I gotta keep you on your toes.
dramatics. I thought you were giving me some dramatics for my name.
No, I gotta keep you on your toes, Ethan. What do you think?
I appreciate it. I appreciate you keeping me on my toes. Small talk section of this. How are you doing today?
You know, I'm a bit slow today.
You've always have been, buddy. Oh
you.
man.
Emotionally, I've been slow. Okay.
Okay, gotcha.
But hopefully this will get me back into the things.
We've both been in a rough patch, I feel like.
Yeah.
We've both had a lot going on and not great things. A lot of not great things.
Not a lot.
Like if you notice, we're in a dungeon. We're in the
broke into someone else's
We're in the
house.
perfect podcast warehouse.
The warehouse.
We're in the warehouse. We've been like renting this for years.
Yep.
Because we started this a long time ago.
Actually, yeah, this is where we first recorded the.
Yeah, we bought a warehouse, and we're like, we're gonna do a podcast in this warehouse, and then we just didn't get much.
Yeah, now we only use it as a sex dungeon right now. So.
Yeah. Speaking of, there's a reason I'm wearing sandals right now, and there's a reason for that. Speaking of the sex dungeon, this goes into a little bit of the story.
Sex dungeon.
No, okay.
Your fucking chunklas.
Okay. No, okay, so one of the things is this warehouse is out in the country. And out in the country, we get big-ass bugs, okay? Big motherfuckers, too. Motherfuckers will walk up on you strapped up, take your wife and kids, and walk out like he owns the place. So, pretty much,
specific, but okay.
It's happened to me. Anyway, that's why I'm single. Anywho, no, so I have to have these as weapons when I'm in the warehouse, or else, they might take my wife and kids. But I get centipedes down here that are like this fucking big.
Really?
Not shitting you. And why this segued with the sex dungeon. So I was having intercourse within the warehouse of the podcast here. And the woman I was with, she was terrified of bugs. Like, I knew this.
Oh my God.
She was horrified of bugs, right? So I'm chilling. Getting after it. Let me tell you. Getting after it. And all of a sudden, I see across the wall behind here, I see the fucking biggest centipede I've ever seen in my life. Okay? And I just had to act like nothing was going on, but I did not pay attention the rest of the time. I was ready to fucking clap some cheeks in a different way. You know what I'm saying? I was about to fucking kill this motherfucker if he got close to us. But it threw me off for the entire time. I feel bad for the girl, 'cause, like, I probably looked disinterested, but really I was looking for bugs.
Being very vigilant.
I was being very vigilant, as if anything was just gonna come out of nowhere, and I was ready.
What kills you? You're just fucking going to town, and you just look up fucking.
Well, I saw something out of the corner of my eye, which, like, she's looking up.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, in this situation, she was looking away.
Mm-hmm.
But I just saw it out of the corner of my eye. She's only seeing fucking pillow, man. So I'm seeing this, and I'm just like staring at it. I'm just watching it run around. Yeah, literally. I'm like, huh? It scares I'm not scared of bugs, but when they get to a certain size, they get a little fucking spooky. So she probably had a bad time. I was in defense mode.
This is such a fucking male thing.
It is.
Hey, it's a bug.
Yeah, it is. But that was kind of. I didn't mean to segue into that story really quick. But that's why I got my sandals on. We're not sponsored by Under Armour, but they're here to protect us today. Yeah, they're here to protect us today. An old worn out pair of excuse me, Under Armour sandals. Apparently, I'm just doing that every fucking podcast. Sorry, I had a burp there, but apparently we're doing that every podcast.
Yeah.
But we've both been having a rough time lately, as we were saying. I did not mean to divert that far away from small talk, but so speaking on content creation as of, I've been getting back into the Misfits.
Yeah.
And I kind of told you about that.
Mhm.
And I was just actually watching them before I came down, and man, did I miss watching them. I found out because like they are a G bunch of motherfuckers. Like, if somehow this is ever seen by them, rock on, guys. You guys are doing great. Love you guys.
You guys are epic.
Epic games. So no, they're super chilling. And I watched their road trip video, but I was getting aggressively drunk because I was sad.
Right.
And by the end of the night, all of my internal dialogue
Oh.
became fucking Zuckles. Okay? Like, I had the thick Australian accent. It was all in my head. It wasn't like, no, everyone has their internal dialogue. Like, they're always talking in their head. Like, that was my entire dialogue.
He just took over.
He took over. And I was like, you know what? I got really excited to keep drinking. I'm like, I'm watching this guy literally eat cigarettes and like drink beer and throw up and piss everywhere in every episode. And I'm like, man, I just want to be that fucking feral. You know what I'm saying? You know, you ever just want to be a fucking raccoon in a dumpster? Like that's what that's what I was
you can
thinking.
see my face right now. I'm just like,
Yeah. So basically, next night I work. Okay, I go to work. I work at a bakery, and for some reason, my internal dialogue continued to be fucking Zuckles, and I started to become fucking feral. Upon which I had this brilliant idea. What I wanted to do is put one of the hairnets over my face, and grab a big ass wrench, and just start chasing people on all fours. Like, that's a thought that I considered in my fucking brain. I'm like, you know, I had a lot of weird ideas across those 24 hours of Zuckles being my internal dialogue, but like, it was impressive.
That's like definitely a Zuckles thought too.
Yeah, it was really fucked up because like, one, I wasn't in a good place mentally. And then Zuckles is taking over, apparently.
That's a double whammy.
And if you don't know Zuckles, for those out there, he's this Australian cunt. He is very... He's crazy as fuck. My brother-in-law reminds me a lot of Zuckles, by the way. You guys won't know. You know, my brother-in-law, he reminds me a lot of like an American Zuckles. Weird. You'll have to meet him someday and understand. But... Okay. He's he's a wild cunt, all right? Like, the most raccoonish motherfucker I've ever met in my life, and I love the man to death. But he was my internal dialogue while I was mentally fucked up. So, gotta love it.
Yeah, that sounds fucking insane. I could not do that. Just have, like,
Another voice?
Yeah.
It was weird. Everything was in Australian. It was fucking... It had the accent. It was weird.
What the fuck is that?
Exactly. That was me. That was me for a long time. Accent. That was horrible accent, but you know, I was fucking out there, man. I was fucking out there for a few days. And I was watching back, and there's one moment that fucking killed me in one of their videos, because I ended up watching back like how many videos on the Misfits channel alone. So like their combined channel. And it's actually in the Mr. Beast Battle Royale.
Oh my god.
Yes. So there is a moment that probably goes missed. And actually, I'm going to take a minute and show it to you, and you can like put the like 20-second clip on screen for them to see here while I pull this up. Yeah. So before I actually show this clip, I want to just give a little bit of a description of it beforehand, because it's like a short clip. Like, it can be easily missed, but I find it to be one of the funniest moments on the Misfits channel. It's about 3-something into the video, 3 minutes and something seconds into the video. Basically, they get trapped in like a little house, and they see the other opposing team start like moving to another area, and this is a Swagger Souls moment, and it's got to be the most Scooby-Doo-esque run I've ever seen in my life. You know, where they run but they're not going anywhere. And he is so intense in the moment. It has to be the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. Drunk Ethan at like 5 a.m. watching this damn near pissed himself. Like, I was on the verge of pissing my bed because I was watching this. So
let's see this shit.
let's watch it again.
That's fucking great. I never fucking realized that when I watched it.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my
So
god, that's
that
fucking great.
was perfect. Like, that fucking killed me. Like, that's such a great moment. Oh, dude, I damn near pissed my pants.
That is a fucking swagger
I
moment.
had to watch it like 10 times over. Like, that night I watched it so many times. Fucking.
Yeah, I
It's
never fucking noticed that. That's great.
So I'm glad. I hope everyone at home enjoyed that. But that's what I've been watching those crazy cunts lately. So appreciate them. Great content.
Yeah, I love you guys.
Yeah. So anyway, I guess that's our small talk for the day. I do have a topic. That isn't
Okay.
the topic for today's episode because now I've been coming up with topics as I've been drinking. Yeah. So today we are going to talk about something that we're taking it back because when we started this podcast, we were in high school.
Yeah.
We were in high school.
God.
So there was a lot of years in there where we didn't make a podcast. And we became adults. So, I'm genuinely curious because I have a story to this. But when was the moment that you were like, fuck, I'm an adult now?
Oh,
Okay, like, I had a very specific instance with this moment and a whole day dedicated to me just being like, wow, I'm a fucking adult. Did you ever have that moment where you're like, fucking A, man?
I'm trying to think. I don't think I spent a whole day on it.
Well, yeah, but there had to have been a moment where you said, fucking A, I am an adult.
I think it was when I was with my family, just celebrating my birthday.
Really?
Yeah, and that's when I was like, oh fuck.
And then that just changed your whole mindset going forward? You're just like, fucking A, fuck you.
Oh, you mean like my whole mindset?
Yeah, because like you have when you're in high school, you still have that kid mindset. You know what I mean? Like you still have mom and dad. You're living at home, whatnot, and then you realize one, you have consequences to your actions, and then two, mommy and daddy can't necessarily save you for your actions. Was there ever a moment where you're like, fuck, this is on me because I'm an adult?
Damn it, I'm trying to think.
Would you like me to go first?
Yeah, you go first, maybe I'll get a better
Okay,
idea.
this is a little bit of a
Yeah.
lengthy story, so I
Sure.
will do my best to go through it as well as possible. First,
Okay.
I'm gonna take a
Sure. Chug, 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 chug. That was embarrassing. Virgin.
You ready, vaginas?
Clip it.
Flip it, chat. Cancel me. Anyway,
Okay, let's hear it.
all right. So, this is back. I had my internet breakdown. Do you remember this very vividly? That I had my internet breakdown crying during the Super
yeah.
Bowl.
Oh,
Okay,
God.
cool. So we all
Classic.
remember that. Not everyone here will remember that. Nor if you do, you don't. You don't
off.
remember. So I just figured out I was an alcoholic. So I took like 4 months off of drinking, right? I stopped drinking. I'm like, that shit's bad for me. It's horrible on my mental health. I need to figure out how to cope in different ways. So this was getting to the point where I was weaning myself back into drinking and partying or hanging out with people. All right, so like I really was still kind of nervous to get back into it, but like I was drinking enough, like I felt like I could.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm working with my sister at this point. I was at that time a landscaper. And pretty much, there was this huge party out in a cabin in the woods. It's like 30 minutes from the warehouse. And we're like, fuck. She was having this huge party. There was going to be DJs, lights, just everything else. About like 40 to 50 people showing up. Right?
Okay.
It's a big-ass
Shit,
party.
yeah.
It's like a festival. So, that whole day, it's a Friday. Getting off work, whatever. all day long. She's like, Ethan, you gotta come to this party. You gotta come. And so the whole theme for the day, she's like, you are an adult now. You need to go out and be an adult and do adult things. Which she at the time didn't know I was recovering, like trying not to be an alcoholic.
Oh, yeah.
So the entire day, she's like, Ethan, you need to stop being with your mommy and daddy. You need to go out and be a man. Like, full on peer pressure. Full on peer pressure. And it was completely okay. It isn't like this. We have a toxic, like, sibling relationship. Like, it's completely a normal one. And she was just razzing me pretty much. But then that got in my head. And, like, about halfway through the day, I'm like, you know what? I am an adult.
Oh, God.
I am going to this party. No matter what people say, I'm going to have a good fucking time.
I guess it's a good
Yeah, like
mindset.
my mindset switch. I'm like, no, I'm not doing this I'm fucking doing this. And so I get home from work. I'm dirty as fuck, whatever. Shower. My parents don't like the idea of me going to this festival. They're like, man, you should not go to this festival. You're hanging in with the wrong crowd.
Right.
Definitely the wrong fucking crowd. I don't do drugs. So, whatever. I'm like, fine. They make sure I take a cup with a lid on it for my drinks. Because they're like, you never know if someone's going to put anything in your cup.
Fair enough.
To be fair, this is all... They're more worried about my sisters trying to get me fucked up.
Right.
They're like, I don't know if a stranger's going to slip something in your drink. But your sisters might. Oh, thanks, Mom and Dad. Good. Thanks for having
Your
faith
sisters
in
might
them.
drug you.
Yeah, your sisters might roofie you. Come on
Classic
now.
Wisconsin.
Classic. Alabama the North? I don't know. Anyway, I'm like, okay, I'm going to this place. So I find this place. Google Maps does not take me there. First, I ended up at an Amish farm. Really fucking confused. So I roll into this Amish farm. I don't know how it got to this. Well, if you type this place into Google Maps, it's way the fuck out there. So, like, the address just somehow didn't sync up. So I roll into this Amish farm, and there's, like, fucking Ezekiel over here. And I yell out the window, because I definitely know I'm not in the right location. This does not look like the crowd I'm partying with tonight. And I'm
That's the correct crowd.
this is not the roofie crowd I was promised. So I'm like, yo, is there a cabin around here? And, you know, these guys are all looking at me like they just saw a fucking spaceship land because a Toyota Camry is riding down their fucking driveway. All right. And they're like, oh, you know, in their native tongue, because, you know, Amish people, they definitely speak a little bit different. They do. If you've ever talked to, they do have an accent or a tongue to them.
They do.
They speak a little bit differently. So, like, I kind of half understood to go down the fucking road again, and I ended up finding it. Whatever. I roll in way more people than I expected. And let me tell you my attire for this said party.
God.
Because I'm underaged in this story. Don't underage drink. But I was underaged in this story. I roll in, jeans, fair outfit, you're going out to the woods. Sweatshirt that says class of 2020 on it,
Oh my.
and it was 2021. So, not the best choice of outfit going to a party.
How fucking.
No, it's so stupid. It is so dumb. But I was an adult the entire time I'm going there. I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm adulting while I'm wearing class of 2020 sweatshirt. So, whatever. I roll in like I'm a teenage boy, dressed like one basically. Horrible outfit. All these guys are all chilling. They're just about to start getting music going. Everyone's kind of hanging out outside. They kind of had a cookout before I arrived, so I was kind of like a little bit late to the party, but fashionably late. Not too late. Still late.
Yeah, you're definitely fucking fashionable, I'll tell you that much.
Oh, very fashionable. Very fashionable. So, I got my stuff there. I, like, took my stuff to the back cabin, which is, like, about a quarter mile away, whatever. We got all settled in. It was kind of the VIP cabin, so I got to hang out with the cool kids. Made our way back, and that's when I joined the whole scene. And the first thing is the most hilarious dude, this black guy. He's really chill. I won't say his name on camera, but he comes up to me, and I had only met him like briefly in passing because he was
Okay.
friends with my sister. So
Oh, sure.
I don't even know if I'd like officially like, oh, this is my brother, you know, kind of situation. I thought it was just like, oh, I've seen him. And he's like, who the hell brought a cop to this party? And he's like, because my
Oh,
2020 sweatshirt. So he thought I was a cop.
Oh my
He thought I was
God.
undercover trying to bust some shit. So he's like, if you ain't a cop, do a shot with me right now. Do a shot with me right now. He's like, I'm going to go find us something and take a shot with. I'm like, I'm not a cop. Let's fucking do this. I'm an adult, baby. So he comes back with these styrofoam soup bowls. We didn't have shot glasses, apparently. Styrofoam soup bowls. And he pours out these monster shots of fucking vodka. And when I, like, he maybe poured it, like, the normal height of, like, a normal shot glass. But this is a fucking bowl.
The width is gonna...
Yeah. So him and I both throw this back like I just started.
Like
I
you're
just
finishing
got
off
there.
ramen noodles.
Yeah, literally, it was like we like cheers with two hands. All right, now that's how the situation was. We throw it back. That's when shit started.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an adult.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an adult now, guys.
This is just what's going through his head.
Yeah, this is what's going through my brain. I'm now adulting, and it's time to fucking get down. So the lights start up, the lasers, the fucking DJ
Nice.
starts playing, and it's solid EDM. All electro music, all a good time.
Mm-hmm.
So I start vibing, I start grooving. We start drinking more. I'm drinking vodka and Sprites, solid mixture. Anyone that does it, make sure you have a good vodka, which I did. I came prepared. Whatever. I'm drinking. I'm feeling good.
Mm-hmm.
So, let me preface I don't do drugs before we continue on with the story. But my sister's boyfriend and then my brother-in-law were both there. My sister's boyfriend was the boyfriend at the time. No longer a part of the picture. Not important. But they take me out to like, it's like, yo, dude, you gotta come to my truck. You gotta come to my truck. Very off-putting,
Yeah.
but I'm an adult.
Hey, champ, come to my truck.
So I go out to the truck, whatever. Turns out nothing too crazy. He just wanted to take tequila shots with me. Which, usually I don't, when I'm drinking a hard liquor, I stick to a hard liquor.
Mm-hmm.
And this kind of made that rule in my brain is this story. So I start taking tequila shots. I take about 2 or 3, maybe, all with a lime. That's another key part of this whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
All of them were with a lime. I get back to the party. I'm now very drunk. I'm
Right.
having a good time, hanging out with my sister's friends. We're all laughing, joking. I'm actually killing it because I'm drunk. I'm not as social of a butterfly when I'm sober, especially around like, you know, when I have like my parents and their friends. You know, like I feel like I have to act a certain way.
Right.
I know with like my sister's friends, like I know I need to act like really like, you know, kind of the party. I know I need to act that way, the party type, but I can't always get that out of me just being sober.
Right.
So this was kind of my first time being like really drunk around their friends. We're having a good time. I'm vibing to the music, whatnot. Then this guy in the crowd of dancers, he was smoking something, hitting something. It was out of a pen. It was some sort of electric pen. Me being an adult,
How do you sound like that? It was some sort of electric device.
well, I was just trying to, like, he wasn't like smoking a fucking joint or like
Right,
a
right.
blunt.
No.
I'm just saying it was
Sorry.
out of like it was
You said that
it was
like
a cart.
fucking
It
boomer.
was a cart. Okay, there we go. It's a cart. I
There you
couldn't
go.
think of the correct terminology.
It was a cartridge, in fact.
It was in fact a cartridge. So, I'm like, yo, dog, what you got there? Trying not to act like a cop. And he's like, oh, it's just a wee bit of weed. And I go, okay, that's chilling.
A wee bit.
It wasn't my first experience.
Right.
I want to preface that. But, you know, I figured one little pump ain't gonna kill me. That's what I thought. So, I fucking accidentally ripped this dab pen. Absolutely killed it. Whatever. I go back to dancing. I'm chilling. I'm in my groove. Then everything started to get a little slow.
Slow.
Yeah, it's like everything kind of slowed down a little bit. I don't know why.
Okay.
Might have been just the weed kicking in. That's what I thought it was, which makes sense.
Right, that would make sense.
It makes sense, which pretty much it was. And I'm chilling, hanging out. I'm still drunk as fuck. Now crossed, and which I haven't done since this moment. But for some reason, the music stops. I was in a very certain rhythm.
Right.
And at this point, kind of the crowd I was with was kind of like moving about. And I was kind of stuck in one area, just dancing. I had a nice little area for me to dance in. Like, you know, there was other people, but, you know, like, I had enough space for me to dance. So, like, I wasn't going to, like...
Leave, yeah.
Yeah, if I was vibing, I wasn't going to leave. So, I'm vibing, kind of chilling. I know pretty much everyone, or I've seen their face before, so it isn't like I'm with strangers.
Right.
And the music stops. And that's when I got thrown out of that group. And all of a sudden, everything started to spin a little bit. Too much. Everything started getting extra slow. I started not feeling good. I started getting a little queasy. So, I'm like, you know what this boy has to do? He has to go sit down. He needs to sit down. So there's a fire outside. Go outside, I'm sitting there. They get the music back going again. They're thumping away inside the cabin. There's a few people around the fire. People that are already fucked up. Now I'm one of them. And there's a beautiful lake. And I'm sitting there chilling, trying not to throw up everywhere. And finally, my sister, she's like, oh, where'd he go? Getting a little worried. Haven't seen him in a while. Goes outside, sees me sitting there, blank staring at this fire. Just like in a trance. She's like, dude, you overdid it, didn't you? Like, I'm an adult.
Jesus.
Like, I'm an adult. I can do this. So, I'm like, oh, no, I'm fine. I just, you know, need to step away for a minute. I'm fine.
Oh, I'm fine.
Yeah. She's like, just letting you know, it isn't very long. It is like 5 seconds after she gets this sentence up. She said, so, you know, you wouldn't be the first person to throw up at the fire. 5 seconds later, I'm throwing up at the fire. Just right on the patio. Just like a bar fucking burying.
Jesus.
Yeah, so this is not a good situation. The lime and everything from those tequila shots has, like, ruined limes for me now, because lime coming up a second time, not as good as the first time. That's for fucking sure. So, I throw up maybe 3 times over, all in the same spot. I didn't even fucking move. I'm too fucking high to run. I'm not running anywhere.
Right.
Oh, that was the absolute worst. And so now I got like 3 ladies around me, just like rubbing my back, like, oh, you're okay, buddy, you're all right. It's my sister and her 2 friends. So it's not like random ladies. Or,
I thought you were getting rizzed up.
no, I'm not getting rizzed up, not roofied or anything. So now they didn't know I had ripped a dab pen. So then I had told them, yo, I hit a pen from someone in there, and they go, who the fuck did you take it from?
Oh, God.
I didn't know what it was really at all. I was too gone to communicate this.
Right.
But I remember all of this for some reason. Usually I wouldn't. For some reason I remember this whole thing.
Right, like a key memory.
Yeah, this is a key memory for me. I was an adult. And like that, I like described him. They're like, oh, this guy. We got to go ask him what the fuck he gave you, because it could be anything.
Right.
So I don't know if they remember this, because they were pretty fucked up too. Like a fight almost broke out at this point, because he was a very joking man. And they go, yo, what did you give my brother? He goes, oh yeah, I let him hit my DMT pen. That's what he said. That's what he said, just fucking with him. Okay?
Oh, okay.
That would
just
no,
with
I didn't actually hit a DMT pen. Because I would have been way further gone.
Yeah, you would have been.
I would have been in a different galaxy.
God.
Yeah, I would have been God. And so they're like, fuck you. Why the fuck would you give him that without, like, telling him or, like, shit like that? Because they thought that maybe he fucked with me. And so it became, like, this whole thing. And eventually he's like, no, I'm fucking with you. I'm fucking with you. It's just... So, whatever. It all... Crisis averted. They're giving me water. I'm, like, kind of becoming okay or aware again.
Mm-hmm.
And so now it's time to get me a quarter of a mile through the woods to the cabin that I'm staying.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where, ladies, I became a Riz god. Okay? There
I
was
don't like how you said that.
there was 4 women carrying me. I hope none of my like sisters actually see this
Mm-hmm.
because like they're gonna say you are fucking dumb because I just said that. I wasn't actually probably risen anyone up looking back on it, but I was fucking funny as shit though.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone was laughing because I just kept saying the stupidest shit. We're walking in the pitch dark through the woods. I'm getting carried by 2 other intoxicated people.
Mm-hmm.
So it is not going well. But I am funny as shit the whole time. Everyone's laughing. They get me into the cabin. They sit me down on the couch. And I sit there for 45 minutes looking at my feet. Just fucking staring, will not move an inch.
He's definitely in the feet, guys.
And so I sat there with another styrofoam bowl, which I don't know where we were getting these from, of
They just
water.
spawn in.
They are spawning in these styrofoam bowls, and I have a thing of water, and it's just a bowl of water. I'm just sitting there staring at it,
A ball of water.
a bowl of water. And so then I end up, they're like, let's get you to your air mattress.
Mm-hmm.
I get down, and this is when my sister decides to pick a fight with me over Cheez-Its, because she wants to claim that the white cheddar Cheez-Its are the better of the cheese compared to the normal ones. And apparently, drunk high Ethan ain't putting up with that shit.
You just died on that hill.
I was dying on that hill, and I couldn't communicate my hill as good as I could have, but she apparently also is dying on her hill until the very end. So we had this whole argument while I'm laying on this air mattress. Apparently they give me a bowl of Cheez-Its, another styrofoam fucking cup. Don't know where we're still getting these from. And then they gave me a bowl of water. Then they gave me a fucking Uncrustable. Who gives? First off, I just got done throwing up.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you gonna give me fucking peanut butter to get stuck on my gag reflex
Ooh.
and initiate another attack? Which that doesn't happen. But you're also giving me something messy, and I'm high and drunk.
You think Uncrustables are messy?
If you eat half of it, there's plenty of space for me to drop it with jelly out, things like that.
I guess you like squeeze it too hard, but
Well, if you're just sitting there and you drop an Uncrustable that's half eaten,
who the fuck drops an Uncrustable?
a high drunk person.
That's
Okay.
embarrassing.
So I don't remember this single part, and it is when apparently I start eating said Uncrustable. I don't remember opening it. So I start eating this Uncrustable, and I fall asleep midway through this Uncrustable. Okay, I passed the
You were lost
fuck
in the
out.
sauce.
I was lost in the sauce, baby. So I eat half this Uncrustable. I pass the fuck out. Wake up, jelly all over me. Peanut butter everywhere. I am just upset
You
that
must
I was.
have fucking cuddled with the shit out of that Uncrustable.
Well, I must have rolled in my sleep, and I have a half-eaten Uncrustable like on my neck. So
Saving it for later.
I'm full of fucking jelly and jam. It looks like I just fucking got out of preschool. Like it's bad. Do not look like an adult in this moment. That's for fucking sure. And so whatever. I wake up. I'm covered in jam and jelly. It was a whole vibe. But that was what happened. I became an adult. I realized I have consequences to my actions. You can hit a dab pen while aggressively drunk, already drinking and mixing 2 different alcohols that should not go together. And I'm like, man,
Jesus.
mommy and daddy ain't saving me from this one. I'm an adult. I'm guessing you don't have a story quite like that for your adulting story. But that's when I realized, and I had a whole theme for the evening. I'm an adult.
God, I'm so boring. Fuck. I got nothing.
Really?
No.
There wasn't like even like maybe not even a story like mine, but a bad point where you were like, man, I got bills to pay and I'm an adult. Can't do this.
Yeah, I mean, I've had something like that, but that's not something I really want to share on here.
I guess that's the point.
It'd
That's
be
the
kind
point.
of boring and
Yeah.
depressing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's fucking wacky.
Yeah, I just I didn't know what to do with myself. I guess I was an adult that evening. So, yeah, that's kind of my adulting story. That's where I blossomed. Became a man.
You blossomed.
Well, maybe I didn't blossom. I've really shriveled up, actually. I think that's more so what I did.
Yeah. Wait, you shriveled up?
More so shriveled up.
That's one way to put it.
There's some really good, what's the picture? Prints. That Polaroid. There you go.
Polaroid.
There's some really good Polaroid pictures that night. Like, there is a Polaroid out there of me with my bowl of water staring at my feet. And then there are pictures of my sister and me just fucking done with the world and, like, passed
Just
out on the air
slumped.
mattress. And my sister, she ended up staying on the same air mattress as me. So, like, my sister, it was kind of like a lofted cabin.
Mm-hmm.
So she just went over the railing and, like, took a picture of her and I passed out. And, like, it looked like a fucking train wreck came through.
Jesus.
Yeah, so there's some really good Polaroids of that night, which I love to reminisce on. But also, kind of a horrible night. Created a great story.
Yeah.
But kind of still a horrible fucking night.
Mm-hmm. That sounds horrible.
Did not want to feel it, but looking back on it, it's funny as shit now. In the moments, I thought I was in, like, gonna die mode. I was in survival. So, yeah. It was an evening.
Yeah, that sounds like.
Yeah.
Jesus, yeah.
Yeah, don't do what I did, kids. Don't underage drink either.
Yeah, I can't even match that or even one up it. I just.
Yeah. That's why I
Damn.
gave you the floor first.
Yeah, that's probably the
Because
best.
I knew I was going to have a longer story here.
You just tell the story. I'm like, yeah, so I had bills to pay the other day.
So I had bills to pay, and no one was there to pay them. And now I'm really
My mother
hungry.
and father couldn't pay the bills for me.
Yeah. Fucking Luke Skywalker over here. Fucking daddy trying to kill him. Mama dead.
No.
Oh, yeah. So that's my whole adulting
This
story.
is just the exclusive Ethan podcast.
Yeah, I didn't mean to make this all about me.
No, it's good. It's
I
good.
had a topic and I knew I had a story for it.
I don't think I even heard that full story. I know I heard something about you pulling up on the Amish, but I
Yeah.
never heard the rest of it.
Yeah. I was trying not to talk about. Nowadays, I don't give a fuck what I talk about.
Right.
I'll literally say anything.
That's true.
Yeah.
You've said some pretty fucking wacky
I've
shit.
said some wacky shit, but there was plenty of time where I cared about what I said.
Mhm.
Now it's like you get me at face value.
Yeah,
I'll say whatever.
fair enough.
So like, yeah, I hit a dab pen in the woods and fucking got all loopy, threw
And-
up.
And crossfaded.
Yeah, I was pretty crossed and got all fucked up. So that's what ended up happening to me.
God, that sounds like one hell of a time.
Oh yeah. The Amish definitely didn't like us. We set off fireworks that night.
Oh God.
We're like 2 miles from their farm, so definitely spooked the horses. Started a forest fire. That was a weird thing, because fireworks and dry grass, turns out setting them off in that area
Oh
does
my-
not work out.
That was-
And so fire was put out. Almost started a forest fire. I want to preface that,
Mhm.
but it was a moment. We had to put out a fire. I didn't do it, but I watched my sister put out the fire. Apparently, it's been a tradition that they accidentally start a fire somewhere every year, and she always ends up being the
tradition.
one to put it out. Yeah, it's always on accident, and yeah.
I was gonna say the Amish probably had a hard time starting their car the next morning.
Oh, I bet they did. I bet they had a hard time starting a car. Yeah.
Had a hard time.
Had to give them a
waking
few
it up.
extra giddy ups. Few extra giddy ups to get her moving the next day.
Yeah.
They were a little spooked. Yeah. No, we had I'm very actually interested in like Amish culture. I do follow someone on TikTok. He's a former part of the Amish, but then he ended up getting out when he was younger.
Yeah.
And so he does have some interesting stories. I do have respect for the Amish. I actually purchased a lot of stuff from Amish people, but that day was
I see them all the time at work.
Oh yeah, you do definitely. But I just that day they were not vibing with my spaceship.
They are very awkward to talk to,
Very hard
but
to.
they are pretty chill.
They don't like they I'm not saying they don't like talking to us. They call us English or the
Mm.
worldly folk. Um, but they're very if you aren't talking business to get something wrong, usually gonna ignore you. That's why they were really confused when this motherfucker was rolling down the road in a class of 2020 fucking outfit. I didn't look like I was looking for a fucking job. So
Here's the fucking Camry.
yeah, little Toyota Camry rolling down the lane. These bitches thought they might have been getting paid. I don't know. Yeah. So that's my shit.
Yeah, it's one hell of a shit. I'll tell you that.
So are you feeling pretty good about this one then, or do you have anything that you'd like to bring up or add or talk about?
Uh, when it comes to adulting, I think most of my stories get more existential than anything. So,
More of a therapy session than
yeah.
anything. Yeah.
But no, I had nothing to say. I enjoyed having you do story time.
Did you enjoy story time, buddy?
Yeah, I just sit here with Mike covering my face.
Who's Mike?
I'm sorry, I'm cheating.
Anyway, yeah. Well, I feel pretty good about it.
Yeah.
So, anywho, this has been the perfect podcast. We had a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Told a story or two. Little couple of things there. A lot of fun.
And we're out. That's how we finish it every single time.
I know, I had more to say. I thought you were adding something.
Nope.